Welcome to News Mongolia, where we bring you the latest stories and updates from across the nation and beyond. I'm Batsirin Namshar. On the News Mongolia today, Mongolia to boost its light industry sector. US and Mongolian law enforcement work together to strengthen mutual legal assistance. Mongolia Mining 2024 Expo will take place from October 9th to 11th. For the news, stay tuned. The safety of food containers is a critical issue as they come into direct contact with the food we consume. As part of the campaign for supporting the light industry, President Khurelsukh worked at Food and Water Containers Factory as well as a cashmere factory. Details in the following report.
Certain materials, such as certain types of plastics containing harmful chemicals, have raised alarms due to their potential to leach into food and thereby pose health risks. Aligned with the objectives of the Healthy Mongolian campaign, which emphasizes the importance of promoting health and preventing diseases, as well as with the Food Supply and Security campaign, which aims to ensure a stable and secure food supply for the nation, the establishment of this factory signifies a proactive approach towards safeguarding public health and enhancing food security. Containers are essential for herders like us because we prepare dairy products for domestic use. Sadly, some herders use unsafe containers for storing food and dairy products. So I think the launch of such factory will positively impact the health of the community. In 2023, 22 billion Mongolian tugreks was used for supporting the light industry, and this year around 60 billion Mongolian tugreks worth of soft loans will be provided for supporting the national light industry.
We have exempted import taxes on non-mining industry processing factory technology, equipment and tools. For startup companies, until they reach 1.5 billion MNT sales, they will incur a 1% income tax.
Mongolia's annual income from cashmere is set to undergo a significant transformation, with projections indicating a potential revenue increase if more value-added products are introduced in the future. Currently, Mongolia earns approximately $400 million annually from its cashmere exports. However, with strategic efforts to diversify and enhance the value chain of the cashmere industry, this figure is expected to reach about $800 million in the foreseeable future.
The President of Mongolia and the Permanent Committee in Parliament, as well as the private sector, are proposing new initiatives. Our ministry is looking forward to close cooperation with these stakeholders.
Mongolian cashmere has already established its name on the international market, so now we are looking forward to promoting Mongolian products made of yak wool.
The quality of cashmere is often assessed based on its micron count, which measures the diameter of the individual cashmere fibers. So, to preserve our leading position in the international market, we should maintain a high-quality standard for cashmere.
Supporting the light industry is essential for fostering economic growth, promoting innovation, and creating employment opportunities.
More than 60 law enforcement professionals from the Prosecutor's General's Office, the Independent Authority Against Corruption, and the National Police Agency participated in the training on mutual legal assistance on March 22nd to 27th and April 2nd to 3rd in Ulaanbaatar.
The joint effort of the U.S. government, the International Development Law Organization, and the Independent Authority Against Corruption will facilitate stronger cooperation between law enforcement agencies in Mongolia and the United States to combat criminal threats. This effort is part of the Mongolian Institutional Integrity and Transparency Project, funded by the U.S. Department of State. The United States is committed to working with Mongolia in fight against corruption and transnational organized crime.
You're watching News Mongolia. Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs.
The 13th edition of the Mongolian Mining International Expo is set to take place from October 9th to 11th at the Bointoha Sports Palace in Ulaanbaatar. This highly anticipated event will showcase cutting-edge solutions, equipment, and techniques from around the world, all of which are designed to drive innovation and advance the mining sector. With a focus on the latest technologies and best practices, this exhibition promises to be an invaluable platform for industry professionals, investors, and stakeholders alike. Every year, Mongolia Mining hosts around 150 to 200 exhibitors, including foreign and domestic mining companies, exploration firms, service providers, equipment suppliers, consulting companies, financial institutions, and various businesses related to the mining sector. The event serves as a comprehensive showcase for products and services, creating a dynamic environment for business promotion, networking, and knowledge exchange.
Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Now let's take a look at international news from our partner agencies. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg welcomed the Allies' pledges to send more military support to Ukraine, but warned the situation on the battlefield remains serious. Stoltenberg told a news conference in Brussels that Ukraine needs more air defenses, more ammunition, and more aid.
So NATO is not party to the conflict, and NATO will not be party to the conflict. But NATO is providing support to Ukraine to help them defend themselves. And we just have to remember again and again what this is. This is one country, Russia, attacking another, invading another country, moving forces, battle tanks, planes, missiles across the border to take control over Ukraine. And that's a blatant violation of international law. It's a full-scale invasion. That's what happened on the 24th of February. And, of course, Ukraine is defending their land, defending their territory. And it is enshrined in international law, it's enshrined in the UN Charter, that self-defense is legal. You have the right to defend yourself. And that's exactly what Ukraine does. And we have the right to support Ukraine in defending themselves. And that's what NATO allies are doing. We don't have any plans of having any NATO combat troops inside Ukraine. There have been no requests for that, but the Ukrainians are asking for equipment, for ammunition, for weapons, and we are providing that to Ukraine. That doesn't make NATO allies party to the conflict, but we support Ukraine in upholding the right for self-defense.
NATO celebrates on Thursday 75 years of collective defense across Europe and North America as Russia's war on Ukraine enters its third year and sorely tests the allies' resolve, while rising populism gnaws at their unity. NATO allies cannot agree on whether to arm Ukraine. As an organization, the alliance only provides non-lethal support like transport vehicles, fuel, combat rations, medical supplies, and mining equipment. However, many members provide arms and ammunition bilaterally or in groups. Stoltenberg on Thursday welcomed nearly 600 million euros from Germany for the Czech-led artillery initiative, as well as 10,000 drones from the United Kingdom, more missiles and armored vehicles from France, as well as a new package of aid from Finland worth 188 million euros. The bulk of NATO's efforts since Russian troops began massing for the invasion has focused on reinforcing its own borders near Russia and Ukraine to dissuade Putin from targeting any of the allies next.
The United Nations is estimating that 18.6 million people in Myanmar will need humanitarian assistance in 2024 a ninefold increase since February 2022. OCHA Director Lisa Doughton told the Security Council that food insecurity is affecting nearly 13 million people, or 25% of the population.
The update comes as the United Nations leading human rights body agreed Thursday to measures aimed at putting pressure on Myanmar and Iran, whose governments have been accused of using violence against their own people.
Since November 2023, renewed conflict in Rakhine State, including shelling in urban areas, has been severely affecting the lives of people in all its communities. The stateless Rohingya population is particularly vulnerable and is increasingly caught between two fighting parties. The rise of intracommunal tensions is also of great concern, reminding us of the devastating consequences from the 2012 and the 2017 crises.
The United Nations Assistant Secretary General Mohammed Khalid Khiari said fighting between the military and Arakan army in Rakhine has reached an unprecedented level of violence, compounding pre-existing vulnerabilities in Myanmar's poorest region.
In Rakhine State, fighting between the military and Arakan army has reached an unprecedented level of violence, compounding pre-existing vulnerabilities in Myanmar's poorest region. The Arakan army has reportedly gained territorial control over most of central Rakhine and seeks to expand to northern Rakhine, where many Rohingya remain.
Rescuers searched for missing people and worked to reach hundreds stranded on Thursday after Taiwan's strongest earthquake in 25 years sent boulders and mud tumbling down mountainsides, blocking roads.
10 people died and more than 1,000 were injured. Some 200 residents of Hualien County near the epicenter were staying in temporary shelters, and the main road linking the county to the capital Taipei was still closed Thursday afternoon, but much of Taiwan's day-to-day life returned to normal. Nearly 1,100 people were injured in the quake. Of the 10 dead, at least 4 were killed inside Taroko National Park, a tourist attraction famous for canyons and cliffs in mountainous Hualien, about 150 kilometers from Taipei. Hundreds of people were stranded when rocks and mud blocked the roads leading to their hotel, campground, or work site, though most were safe while they awaited rescue. Liu Zhongda, a construction worker, and his colleague were on their way to work on a road in the national park and were inside the tunnel when the quake hit. A boulder blocked their exit and they were trapped along with some other people. Liu and his colleague were rescued Thursday afternoon and received a quick medical checkup outside the park. Some 700 people remain cut off, the vast majority of them employees and guests at a hotel in the national park. Authorities said they were safe and had food and water, and that work to repair the roads to the hotel was nearly finished. The earthquake was the strongest to hit Taiwan in 25 years, measured at magnitude 7.4 by the U.S. Geological Survey.
Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you next week with more news and updates. Goodbye.